Dear students, see last time we talked about instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration. See we derived formula for the component of velocity and component of the acceleration. Now see in our lesson number 3, we derived the equation of motion in one dimension with constant acceleration. See which were d is equal to v naught t okay, these are the equation we derived for motion in one dimension. Now see the same equation we have to derive for motion in a two dimension. Okay, so let us say at t is equal to 0, initial position is r0. See what is t is equal to 0? The moment we start observing the motion. Okay, and initial velocity. See here we have to represent in vector form. Now at time t is equal to t, position is r and velocity is v. Now what is displacement? See displacement is change in position, that is final position, that is at t is equal to t minus initial position, that is t is equal to 0, is r minus r. Okay. Now by definition acceleration is change in velocity upon change in time. So acceleration is okay. So v is equal to okay. Now see the acceleration is a vector quantity, velocity is also vector component. So we can write this velocity in terms of its component, that is vx is v0x plus axt. Now here ax is a x component of the acceleration and v0 x is a x component of initial velocity. Similarly vy will be v0y plus ay. Okay. Now this is about the velocity in terms of the component. Now see the displacement d is average velocity into time. Okay. Now what is average velocity? Here the motion is with the uniform acceleration. Okay. Motion is with the uniform acceleration. Okay. So average velocity will be v plus v0 by 2. Okay. Here what is our question? Kinematic equation in a plane. Okay. That is a uniformly accelerated motion in two dimensions. Now see the displacement is average velocity into time. Now we substitute the value here. V is equal to that I substitute here. So we'll get V is equal to, see here V we substitute at V0 plus 80 plus V0 into t. Now 2v0 into t by 2 at square t into t square by 2, that will make 1 by 2. See that will make v0 t plus t. Now this is nothing but our displacement vector. Now see displacement is a vector component, vector quantity. So it will have component, just we used to write r is equal to xi plus yj. Okay, displacement here is r minus r0 is equal to v0 t plus 1 by 2 at square. Now r is a final position, r0 is the initial position, v0 t plus 1 by 2 at square. Okay, now see r has two components. R we write like this, x and y. So we write the x component of the displacement. Okay, there is x is equal to x0 plus v0x plus 1 by 2. Okay, now see the x component, initial position vector, initial x component of the initial velocity, and x component x. Similarly, we can write y is equal to y0 v0 yt plus 1 by 2 ay. Okay, now this is how we can represent x and y component of the displacement. Now see our third equation, d is equal to v plus v0 by 2 into t. Okay, now we have derived v is equal to v0 plus at. So t will be equal to v minus v0 upon a. That I substitute here. Okay, that is t is equal to v plus v0 by 2. Okay, now this value I have substituted here. So the equation will become d will be v square. Okay, we derived a similar equation, but that was in one dimension and in a scalar form, we can say. So what we see here, x and y. See, this is a uniformly accelerated motion in a plane or in two dimension, can be represented as two independent motion. What are two independent motion? One is in x direction, second is in y direction. So we can obtain the x component of the final position, we can obtain the y component of the final position. So this is how we can derive the kinematic equation of plane that is in two dimension with the uniform accelerated motion, or we say with the constant acceleration. See, the number of question or numericals will be based on this, that will solve in the examples and exercise. So this is about the motion in two dimension. Okay, that is nothing but motion in a plane. Now see, our next theory is projectile motion. Okay, next theory is projectile motion. Now see, what is projectile motion? Suppose a football is lying and you give a kick, so it moves like this. Or if you throw a stone, it will like this, it will move like this. So what happened? See, this is a motion in two dimension. See, okay, okay, let us say the object is thrown with a velocity v0. Okay, it moves when a body is thrown in gravitational field of the earth by making some angle with the horizontal in a such a way that it moves with a constant horizontal velocity. Okay, what is constant horizontal velocity? Let us say the body is thrown with the angle theta, okay, with some angle with the velocity v0 with some angle theta. What will be the x component? v0 cos theta. Now this v0 cos theta, that is the x component, is not affected by any other external parameter. So that's why we say this motion is with the motion with a constant horizontal velocity, and we know it moves under the gravitation field of the earth. You can see here it reaches to maximum height, comes down, that is because of the gravitational acceleration. Now see, the value of g is also fixed, so that is called constant vertical acceleration. So that is nothing but the projectile motion. See, we can say, we can write like this. Okay, projectile motion. See, our question will be like this. What is See, exam the question is asked like this. What is projectile motion? Show that the path or trajectory is parabolic. See the path, as I showed just now, it will be like this. See, you studied in the mathematics. See the relation y is equal to x square or x is equal to y square. Y is equal to ax minus bx square or x is equal to ay. Okay? See, one side x and second side y square, one side y, second side right hand side x square. So, or y is equal to ax minus bx square, x is equal to ay. These four equations are equation of a parabola. Okay. Now those who are in the mathematics will study this. Now see, our biology student, we have to remember this fact. So whenever any motion is of this type, see, it is a parabolic path. So here we have to show that the path of the projectile, show that the path or trajectory of is parabolic. See, the question will be like this. What is projectile motion? Show that the path or a trajectory of a projectile is parabolic. Now see, just now we have discussed the definition. So we write like this. When object is thrown by making angle with horizontal such that it moves with constant horizontal velocity and constant vertical acceleration, then such two-dimensional motion or such motion is called okay. See, when object is thrown by making angle with the horizontal such that it moves with a constant horizontal velocity and constant vertical acceleration, then such motion is called projectile motion. So this is the definition of projectile motion. Now we have to show that the path of the projectile is parabolic. Okay, path or a trajectory of a projectile is parabolic. Now here we consider two-dimensional motion. Now see, let us say the body is thrown like this. Say angle made with the horizontal is theta. Let us say it is projected with initial velocity v0. Okay, it is projected with the initial velocity v0. Now what are the two components of the x component? Will be v0 cos theta 0. See, v0. Okay, so the body or an object is projected initial velocity. Okay, angle made with okay, theta 0. Now two component of velocity, x component Okay. Now see the vertical acceleration is g. Okay, that is gravitational action. Now first we write the x component. Now see the x component is constant. It is not affected by any acceleration. So see our velocity is component of displacement is x. So x is equal to v0 cos theta. Okay. Now see motion in y direction. See what is our kinematic equation? See d is equal to v0 t plus half v square. Okay, right now I write in terms of component. See, it is a y component of displacement. What is the y component of the velocity? v0 sine theta 0 time is t plus 1 by 2. See, the acceleration is minus g. Okay. Okay, so this is a y component of the velocity. Now see, from this equation 1 I get p value is x upon v0 cos theta. Okay, now that I have to substitute here. Okay, so y will be v0 sine t value is x upon. Okay, see the minus sign will be here, minus 1 by 2 okay, here it is t square, so I substitute the values. Now see, when we simplify, v0 will be cancelled, x sine upon cos is 10 minus 1 by 2 gx square upon v0 square. Now see, as I told, is ax minus bx square. Okay, so we can write like this. See the above equation is of type y is equal to ax minus bx square. That is equation of parabola. Okay, equation of parabola. That's why see the path or trajectory of projectile. Okay, now see up to here, if they ask, see it will be a 2-mark question. Okay, so what we have seen, what is projectile motion? See, when a body is thrown in the gravitational field of the earth by making angle with the horizontal in such a way that it moves with a constant horizontal velocity, a constant horizontal velocity and constant vertical acceleration, then such motion is called projectile motion. See, we also have proved here. See the path or a trajectory of a projectile sphere. Now see, next we have to derive the equation for the first is a maximum height. Derive maximum height xm or simply x, the time of flight and range. See, range is nothing but the horizontal distance. Now see, this is a horizontal distance. Okay. So first you have to derive the equation of maximum height hm, time of flight and range. That is the horizontal distance. So the horizontal distance covered is called the range. Now first we have to derive the equation of maximum height. Okay, now see these are the terminology accepted in the textbook, so that's why we will use. Okay, now see this is a motion with a constant vertical acceleration. So see this is a y component of the initial velocity. See what happens here. This is the maximum height. See maximum height. See the y component of the velocity becomes 0. Why? Because it is moving against the gravitation. Okay. So what we can say, the final velocity here is here in y direction. And what is the initial velocity here in y direction? v0 sin theta. See our equation, b is equal to v square minus. Okay. Now distance or height is hm. v0 sin theta. Acceleration is minus. So hm is minus minus cancel. v0 square sin square theta 0. Okay. This is the formula for the maximum height. Okay. Now do not get confused with h max. Okay, that we'll discuss later on. Now this is the formula for the maximum height. Now next we have to obtain the equation of time of flight. Okay. Now let us say, see the time taken to reach from the point of projection to maximum height, let us say Tm. See the same time it will require to come down, that will be also Tm. So total time will be double of this. Okay, so that we have to keep in mind. Now again, this is a motion with the constant acceleration. See the acceleration value is minus g. Why? Because it moves against the gravitation. Now see our equation, v is equal to v0 plus. Now we have seen the y component of the velocity here is 0. See what is the initial value of the y component of the velocity here? v0 sin theta 0. Acceleration is minus g and time is Tm. But this is the time to reach to the maximum height. So Tm will be v0 sin theta 0 upon. Now as I told, see it requires Tm time to reach to the maximum height. See the similar time or equal time will require to reach to the ground again. So the time of flight Tf will be 2 Tm 2 v0 sin theta 0. See this is the equation of the maximum. This is the equation for the time of flight. Now next we have to derive the equation for range. Range is nothing but the horizontal distance covered. Now this distance we call as r. Okay. Now see here distance we have discussed that in x direction it moves with a constant velocity, that is v0 cos theta 0, and what is the total time, that is Tf we have obtained just now. So the distance covered x direction is called range. Okay, or horizontal distance is, okay, so that is x is nothing but T is equal to Tf. Okay, that we have obtained just now. So our range is v0 Now see here we have an important trigonometric identity, okay, that is 2 sin theta 0 cos theta 0. Now see 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta. Okay, so the equation will become like v0 into v0 is v0 square sin. Okay, that is a formula for the range. So the range of the projectile is v0 square sin 2 theta. So these are the important equation. Okay, first we have seen what is projectile motion. Okay, we proved that the path of the projectile or trajectory is trajectory of projectile is parabolic. We also derived the equation of maximum height, that is hm, time of flight, that is tf, and the range of the projectile. Now these are the three equations which we derived. Okay, first hm, tf is time of flight, and range of the projectile. Okay, now by using this, see, we have to derive the equation of Hmax and Rmax. So the question is asked like this. Derive derive equation of Hmax and Rmax. Now Hm is the height of the height attained by the projectile. Now see our formula. First we derive Hmax. Now Hm is V0 square sine square. Now see, for given V0, V0 we consider constant, G is always constant, so only variable is theta 0. Now when this will attain maximum value, so that depends on theta only. We know sin theta is 1, sin 90 is 1. So when theta 0 is 90, okay, this value will become maximum. Okay, so Hmax in that case, okay. Now this will be a useful equation for the MCQ. So naturally this, when this sin square theta become 1, the H will become Hmax. So that is for when angle of projection is 90 degree, okay, we will obtain the value of Hmax, that is V0 square upon V. Now second is Rmax. Now range of the projectile we have obtained V0 square sine 2 theta is 0 upon G. Now for given V0, okay, that is V0 we consider constant, okay, sine 2 theta 0 should be 1. Then and then this term will become maximum. Now sine value is 1 when theta is 90. Now 2 theta 0 is, okay. So when angle of projection is 45 degree, okay, we will get value of R as Rmax. So in that case, see, our Rmax will be equal to V0 square upon G. Okay. Now this is the formula for the Rmax. Now you studied in your physical education subject. Yeah, you studied in your physical education subject. You see, when in a javelin throw, okay, or a shot put, okay, when it is projected at angle of 45 degree, see, the range is become maximum. So this is about the Hmax and Rmax. Now this was about the projectile motion. Now see, the last theory remain for this lesson is a uniform circular motion. Okay. Now in the earlier standard also we studied this, but now with some better insight. It is a very useful theory. Okay. See, our next question is like this. What is uniform circular motion? What is uniform circular motion? See, the derived equation of centripetal. Okay. Now see, uniform circular motion. see particle or object moves on circular path with constant speed, then such motion is called. Okay, when a particle or object moves on a circular path with constant speed, then it is called uniform circular motion. See, when you are small, see પેલું પથ્થરથી દોરીને બાંધીને આમ લંગીશી લડાવતા હતા બધા સાથે, okay, that is a uniform circular motion. Now see the important thing here. Now here theory we studied in this lesson. You see at any point on the path, the direction of the velocity is tangent to the circle. Now see here, v is a speed, constant speed. That is also nice. Okay, now see interesting thing here. See, once we write like this, if particle moves on the circular path with constant speed, then such motion is called uniform circular motion. And in one sense, on the other side, we ask for the acceleration. How this is possible? If it is a constant speed, how it is accelerated motion? See here, thing is very interesting. Now we studied velocity. Speed plus direction. Okay, now velocity is a vector quantity, can be changed in three different ways: by change in the magnitude, change in the direction, or by change in magnitude and direction. So here, see the value of speed is fixed, but see the direction is continuously changing. Let us say when it is here, tangent will be like this. So the direction of the speed is continuously changing. That's why this is called uniform circular motion. So we can write like this. Here, direction or speed is continuously hence okay. Okay, so now we have shown that it is accelerated motion. Now we derive the value of the acceleration. Okay, now we derive the value of the acceleration. Now see, is a circular motion like this. Okay, now at any point, let us say P, velocity is v1. Okay, here is a motion with a constant speed, so the magnitude will be equal. Now let us say at any instant, time t, the position is P. After some time, let us say it is at Q. But as I told, the magnitude of the speed is same. Now see the change in positions is delta r. There is a displacement vector. See here, r is the radius of the circular path. Delta r is the change in position. So r is the radius. Okay, and v1 and v2 are the speed. Now see, we have to use triangle law. Okay, for vector addition. Now as I discussed earlier in the beginning of the lesson, that vector has an important advantage. we can shift its position by keeping its magnitude and direction state. So this V1 I am showing like this V1. Okay, and O dash I am saying this is O is a radius center O dash. Now P here I am showing as P dash. Okay, now this is nothing but our V1. Now see the change in velocity, that is delta V. Okay, and the final velocity, see by keeping its magnitude and direction same. See what we have used here, see the triangle law. See on the head of the vector V1, tail of the delta V, and the third side is this. Now let us say this theta and theta are same. Now see, consider the geometry of the triangle OPQ and O dash, P dash and Q dash. Now see, in the earlier standard you studied about similarity of the triangles. Okay, earlier standard you studied similarity of the triangle. See how that we are going to use here. See, R is the P is the position, R is the radius. Okay, here also R is the radius, Q is the final position. So triangle OPQ, R and R are the radius, theta is the angle. Here triangle O dash, P dash, Q dash, V1 and V2, but their magnitude is same, and angle between them V1 and V2 is theta. So here by SAS condition of similarity, okay, so triangle OPQ and O dash, P dash, Q dash are similar triangles. Okay, now we have studied earlier, if the triangles are similar, then the sides are in proportion. So we can say, see this P dash Q dash upon PQ is equal to OP dash upon OP. Okay, now P dash Q dash is delta V, PQ is delta R, V1 upon R. Now these are all vector. We write in terms of only magnitude. Okay, we write in terms of only magnitude. So we can write like this, delta V. Okay, this V1 and V2 are same. So this will be V by R. This also will become V by R. So we do not write twice. Now delta V is equal to V upon R into delta R. Okay, we divide by delta T on both sides. See what we have done, we have divided by delta T. See, by taking limit delta tends to 0, delta V, this will become dV by dt, V by R. Okay, now see dr by dt is nothing but speed. Okay, so our equation has become dV by dt. Now we know dV by dt is acceleration A. Now see, what about the direction? Okay, direction of velocity acceleration is in direction of change in V. So this change in V is delta V. Now this is toward the center of the circle. That's why this acceleration we call as a centripetal acceleration. So in a uniformly accelerated motion, okay, in uniform circular motion, there is a centripetal acceleration. Okay, that we have derived here. Okay, A is equal to V square by R. Now, see, later on we'll study rotational motion also. That will be in lesson number 7. So there are some useful relation. Okay, where that we will use that time. Right now we just have an idea of that. See, in a rotational motion, we have got V is equal to R. Omega is angular speed. So here AC is V square by R. R omega square. Okay, sometimes we write in terms of centripetal acceleration is like this. Now, this is about centripetal acceleration. Omega is angular frequency or 2 pi mu. Okay, omega is the angular frequency. So here AC, if I write, omega is 2 pi mu. Okay, so we can write 4 pi square. Sometimes it is mentioned like this, F is a frequency. Okay, so these are the relation of rotational motion with uniform circular motion. So this is about uniform circular motion. See, we have derived the equation of the centripetal acceleration. Why? Though it is a motion with a constant speed, why it is called accelerated motion? Why? Because see, velocity is speed plus direction. Here the direction is continuously changing. That's why we say the velocity change, and whenever velocity changes we have an acceleration. See, that acceleration here is termed as a centripetal acceleration. Okay, so with that we come to end of the theory part of lesson number 4. See, next time we'll see the example part and the exercise numerical part. Thank you.